3 weeks, my friends. 3 weeks I've had the Samsung Galaxy Note. What's going on? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and it's day 21 with this device. And you're going to notice immediately it's a little bit of a different color. You can tell I've switched a couple of times. I went from the international version to the AT&T version, and I mentioned white in the last video that I really wanted a white device, or at least wanted to see what it looked like. I've always liked the way Samsung worked their white color, or the white paint on the device. And Samsung was nice enough to send one over to complete the 30 days. So I'm on a third Galaxy Note. I feel like I've actually switched devices a couple of times, but I'm on a third Galaxy Note, and this one is a white one. I really like the way it looks. Take a look up close, and you can see my image apparently on the camera there. How's it going? But you can see the buttons down at the bottom, the capacitive buttons. It just has a good look to it, and it complements the screen nicely because instead of it being black on black, you got your black part of the screen, and then you got the white as well. It looks good, and of course the back cover is glossy on the white AT&T version. So it's a nice looking device, and everything else is white as well. The S Pen is white also. So I've gotten used to the size. Give you an update here on 21 days in, how I feel about this phone. I've gotten used to the size. I will say, like I said, it's still big, but I'm used to holding it up. I'm used to it. It's funny because I'll work with other devices like the Skyrocket or the iPhone 4S, the Evo 3D, a couple of different devices I have on my desk that still have pretty large screens, obviously with the exception of the iPhone 4S, but pretty reasonably sized screens, Skyrocket at 4.52 inches and more. But then I'll pick them up and I'm like, man, the screen just feels tiny. I think I've gotten used to media watching on the Galaxy Note. I've gotten used to YouTube videos and playing music and stuff. And if you didn't catch in my last update, I actually installed Double Twist. And I've used Double Twist in the past, and it's not my favorite. I still feel like there's too many tasks required as opposed to the iTunes ecosystem. But I will say I downloaded Double Twist, downloaded AirSync, and now I have my music collection nice and fit on an SD card, micro SD card, in the Samsung Galaxy Note. So I'm packing a 16 gigabyte micro SD card in here. Haven't seen any slowdowns on the device or any weird issues as a result of having the micro SD card. I will say the 2,500 milliamp hour battery is still nice in this device, but to give you a further update on battery life, I do, make it through a day, but I'm pulling it by a hair. I pull the phone off the charger at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I can make it until about 9 or 10 at night. And then the device is dying with the amount of texting, calling, emailing, browsing the web, watching videos, things that I do on my device. I can make it until about 9 or 10. The LTE does take its toll in comparison to the international version, which has that same 2,500 milliamp hour battery, but doesn't have LTE connectivity, so it's not draining the battery as quickly. It is noticeably different. I can make it without the LTE, the international version. I can make it a day and a half or so before charging. On this one, not so much. I do have to charge it every single night. That said, it's much better than most Android devices where I'm going, and charging 2 or 3 times in a given day. But still, let me turn the screen on so you can take a look at the white and how it looks. Otherwise, the S Pen's fun. A friend of mine reached out to me and told me how to customize S Memo, and this is actually something I did not realize. I just, for whatever reason, missed the feature. You can actually put stuff in personal folders and business folders, so if you have S Memos or screenshots from work and screenshots from personal, then you have little doodles that your friends have done, you can create custom folders for those so you're not bringing up all of your images when somebody's looking at your phone. So perhaps you got important business plans or confidential documents, something like that, you can do little folders. I thought that was a neat little feature of S Memo, and I continue to find it to be a pretty useful tool because I can come in here, immediately open one up, and actually, bear with me because I don't have any on the white one right now because I just moved it over. But you can see I can open up S Memo and start a new one from scratch, and I can do things. I find myself doing grocery lists and putting bill pay things and confirmation numbers, etc. in here without thinking and just hitting save. So it's a really useful tool. I found it really beneficial. And it kind of has replaced the memo pad. I use the same thing on the iPhone 4S and some of the other Galaxy S2 devices. I'd use that built-in memo pad, and it's kind of replaced that. I can throw it open, jot down my notes, and hit save. Otherwise, still pretty responsive. 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon processor, like I've said before, in the AT&T version. This one's reasonably fast. For whatever reason, the AT&T, the black one that I had, slowed down a little bit after a couple of days of use. I'm still on day 2 of this one, but I haven't had any slowdowns, which makes me think I installed some sort of rogue app or something that was slowing it down on the other device. But so far so good with this one. But you can see, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I pulled it off the charger this morning at 7:05 or 7:10, and it's sitting at 52%. As you can see. So 52% with pretty heavy usage, a lot of text messaging, a lot of calls earlier today. But 52% means I'm going to make it until about probably 8 or 9, 10 before it requires a recharge. So it's better than other Android devices I've worked with, but still, if you do, you may need an extra battery if you're just an absolutely heavy user. 8 megapixel camera, pretty awesome as well, and it's fun to take a picture and of course use the S Memo functionality to jot down stuff on the picture. So I'll take it to Barcelona with me. It's going to Mobile World Congress, and I'll update you from there on how this device performs. 21 days down, 9 more days to go, but the question is, am I gonna stick with this, or am I gonna go with something else? Maybe the Galaxy S2 on AT&T, the original one, perhaps back to the iPhone 4S, maybe to an unlocked Galaxy Nexus. We're just gonna have to wait and find out at the end of the 30 days which one I go with. Cliffhanger.